Hey everyone, Frank here from Realhub and Campaign Track, and thank you for tuning in. In this video series, I'm going to be talking about the different key elements to a listing presentation and how we've solved those in the Engage proposal tool. So what I want to talk about in this video is I want to talk about a very essential part of every listing presentation, and that's doing our comparable market analysis. Some people call it a CMA. Everybody who knows me knows that I don't like using acronyms, so we'll go with comparables. Now, what we do in the system to make that easy and effortless to get inside your presentation is we allow you to search using one of the data suppliers. So we have an integration directly into Price Finder as well as Core Logic for you to be able to pull comparable properties to show your vendor, hey, look, here's 3 properties in a similar price range, and therefore this is how we came up with the price for your property. Now, the key to understand is part of the subscription with Engage, you get access to Price Finder. No need for you to actually have a subscription yourself. But if you're a Core Logic user and you have a subscription, then what you can do is authenticate through the system, and that will allow you to pull the Core Logic data. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive in and quickly show you what we can do with our comparable properties. Now, inside our presentation, we click on the comparable section, and what's going to happen, it's going to allow us to do a couple things. So firstly, we can search an individual property. Now, the way this works is if you know a particular property that might have sold recently, you can just go and search it, and that's going to pull from the data supplier and bring through certain bits of information. Now, you might not know which properties you want to talk about, and so therefore you want to browse a list of properties. And so what we can do here is we can say, let me browse sold, what's on the market. I can add in filters. So a filter might be, the radius. So let's say 1 kilometer from this property, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, price. And obviously as we filter down, it's going to refine our search further and further. And then what I do is I say browse, and based on those parameters, it's going to pull from our data supplier, whichever one we're connected, and it's going to show us all the properties that are available for us to choose. And so as I scroll through, you'll notice I got this add button here, this blue add button. I click on that and it's going to pull through onto my presentation. Now, what we understand is there's a couple of things. When the properties are flowing through, you may still want to change some information. So what I'm talking about is if it says price withheld and you know the price, of course you want to update that because you put the relevant information in there. So what we allow you to do is you can click on the property and then you can make updates that you feel are necessary. And so from here you might say, as I mentioned, change the price and update that. But next, and a very key point, is when you're doing your presentation, the reality is this is your opportunity to talk about your brand and your business. And the last thing we need is a watermark of a competing agency's logo, and essentially you're building their brand up. So what we allow you to do is change out the image. So if there's a watermark or an agent standing in front of a signboard or something like that, you might want to change it out to a more generic image, and therefore when you send this away to your vendor, it's just talking about your brand, your business, and what you're going to do for the vendor's home. So that's all I need to talk about in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, if you don't already, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we'll bring out this content there first.